From a giant horse-eating evangelion-like alien to a rampaging chimp that left a child star scarred for life, there's a whole lot to unpack in Jordan Peele's latest horror project, Nope. Just a forewarning, this won't be a straightforward ending explain video because there's a lot that Jordan Peele left up to audience interpretation. But I'll do my best to give you guys a good explanation of what exactly went down and the possible meanings behind it all. And as always, major spoilers ahead. The final act of this film ties a bow on one of the main ideas explored throughout its story, the dangers and consequences of spectacle culture. Nope is essentially a deep dive into what happens when a person puts the goal of capturing a spectacle over the respect of what is being captured and their own well-being. Each of the characters in the final act are put into life-threatening situations, and a few of them even get devoured, but they're willing to put their lives on the line if it means they get to capture that moment for their own benefit. Antler the cinematographer is so in love with his craft that he was willing to risk his life to get that shot, and as a result, he met his untimely demise. Angel is obviously the most scared of his crew, but is more willing to capture Jean Jacket with his surveillance tech than avoid facing his own fears. The TMZ employee was more concerned about his camera than his injuries after flying off a motorcycle going 60 miles an hour, and while OJ and Emerald may have put together this entire plan in order to save their father's legacy, they're still just as engaged in spectacle culture as everybody else because of their treatment of Jean Jacket being a means to an end. Fortunately, because OJ isn't as involved in spectacle culture, as seen by his relationship, respect, and understanding of his show horses and use of a flip phone in 2021, he's able to understand a bit of the nature of Jean Jacket and the fact if they don't look directly into its eye, it won't eat them, which is also the reason that OJ gets to survive at the end of the movie. Peele wrote OJ as the character who is as detached as any person can be from spectacle culture, with OJ still prioritizing respecting what is being captured and his own and others' well-being before getting that shot. Emerald's final stand against Jean Jacket using the Jupiter's Claim balloon as a way to lure and take it out also mirrors the horrific incident that occurred with Gordy the chimpanzee. Both Gordy and Jean Jacket are treated as a means to an end without any respect for their nature. As a result, both end up being taken out and discarded after they are no longer of use as a spectacle. However, before they're taken out, they make sure to flip the script and turn the people using them into a spectacle as well. This is actually hinted at by the movie's opening quote from Nahum 3:6, which reads, "I will cast abominable filth upon you, make you vile, make you a spectacle." A Bible quote for telling the destruction of a city who treated its own citizens as a spectacle and means to an end. It also predicted God's wrath upon the city for its sins. And a side note, the quote pretty much sums up the scene in which Jean Jacket vomits the remains of his victims all over the Hayward ranch house. So even though in the end they were able to get the Oprah shot of Jean Jacket before taking it down, the ending is actually pretty bittersweet, with the discarding of the subject being captured still being the final outcome. Jordan Peele deliberately takes this route in his story as a way to highlight the contributions to cinema made by African Americans forgotten by Hollywood. And while the horse jockey on the first set of moving pictures wasn't actually OJ and Emerald's grandfather, Edward Muybridge, who captured the first moving pictures, did actually capture the black jockey shown in the film. But to this day, no one knows who he is. Unfortunately, it was very commonplace in the days of early cinema to not credit black actors, use them purely for spectacle, and discard them to then be forgotten to time. A similar comparison can be made to the outdated use of blackface, in which white people would use racist caricatures of African Americans purely for spectacle, then discard the makeup and continue to disrespect and view black people as subhuman. But one of the biggest questions I left the theater asking at first was, how does Ricky's story connect to OJ and Emerald's? First of all, Ricky never really intended on selling the horses back to OJ, because once they were sold, they were then fed to Jean Jacket. Also, his offer to buy the entire ranch was most likely made so that he could continue to feed Jean Jacket. And like I said earlier, the entire incident involving the chimpanzee who played Gordy directly paralleled the treatment of Jean Jacket. But Ricky's treatment of the creature as spectacle was definitely not random. As a child actor who grew up in the spotlight, being treated as a spectacle was pretty much all he knew. And with that extremely traumatizing event ending with the chimp giving him a fist bump, it's not a stretch to say that he misinterpreted the situation, thinking that he was spared because it trusted him. Now as an adult, Ricky is enamored with the entire event and copes the only way he knows how, by continuing to treat it as a spectacle, which is evident by his museum of artifacts from the catastrophe. The effects of his trauma extend up until the day of his demise because he repeats the same mistakes of the showrunners of his childhood by treating Jean Jacket as a spectacle, misinterpreting the situation again when he believes that it trusts him, and finally being eaten along with his wife, kids, former co-star, and audience. Hopefully this video clears some things up for you if you left the theater a bit confused. There's absolutely no shame in it, because you know it's a Jordan Peele film. There's a lot to dissect. It's not easy to get a good grasp of what he's trying to convey after one watch. I'll definitely be seeing Nope a couple more times in theaters, you know, to my own detriment, because I have to rewatch that highly anxiety-inducing chimpanzee scene again. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do for content, right? Ricky, Antlers and TMZ know what I'm talking about.